Chicago.
Ready to go here on the hill and coming off a great start, Michael Copa. What's the scouting report on him?
Yeah, his ERA last year was a little worse than average, so definitely be looking for better results this season. One of the keys is just being able to have a consistent delivery and to be able to repeat that delivery so you can hit the spots that you want to hit. You have a higher chance of being successful.
Rid of the bottom of the first. Yohan Moncada with a chance to hit.
Hey, nobody out now, nobody out.
Magnets. Fucking how do they work?
Hey, first pitch strikes right here. Get ahead right now.
Random back to work. Oh, that got away.
Oh my god, my first curveball of the game right now, dude, my fucking knee. Alright.
Definitely a breakdown in his mechanics on that one. Just lost the handle and ended up way off.
Little HBP, the first batter.
Comes up empty with a swing there.
Oh, I missed a wide open.
Oh, 1-1.
That soccer game pissed me off, man.
Why's that?
I don't know.
Foul ball there.
You know, you get a couple opportunities, you miss one or two, and then they take a good.
Hey, we got no one.
It's the same as like every other FIFA game.
When I
feels like.
yeah, oh yeah. When I play, it's the way FIFA is. Like it's just this fine touch. You know what I mean? You get a good opportunity and you fucking hit it bad. You know. But like when I play like on the Portuguese. league, Portuguese team. So they're like, there's only 2 good teams in that league. So when I play on the difficulty, like I either shred the other teams or get killed in Champions League.
Runner, he's going, he's going.
I got these Champions League slots. Like, get them on accepted.
Hey, come on, guys.
2-0. And a pop-up, right side, foul territory.
Ultimate team's always hard to start because your team sucks.
Well, you can set it when you start a campaign. You can literally set it to get like 100 million or like $1 billion or like 10 million.
Such a good hitter with runners and scoring.
Like even then, you can only get like 1 or 2 like really good players.
Right now at the plate, it's like everyone
There's
else
so
is
much
in
money.
slow motion, and he's in full speed.
They gave me 2 good defenders to start.
Did you pick like a T? Like what T did you pick? Or are you playing franchise mode or no?
I did Ultimate Team.
Oh, see, I didn't do Ultimate Team. I haven't fucked with that before.
But fuck, the hard part is that the hardest thing to do is score, and they gave me 2 good defenders. So as my top 2 players, which I was like,
yeah, and I guess you can only open packs. So you can't, like,
right. They give you loaner players though, so
for like so many games, right?
yeah. So you get them for like 5 games, and then you can.
That shit pisses me off.
It's kind of cool. Then you get different guys for different games. So you pick the games that are hard. So the games that are hard, then you'll pick the top guys that you're gonna play them for.
Yeah, sometimes you have a game like before a big game, and you have to start your basically B squad to rest your guys.
Yeah, so if you have a game against some scrubs, you'll play your shitty guys.
Yeah, that's what it is on franchise. Yeah. So you actually get to play your reserve players and stuff if you want, but
yeah, it's kind of cool. So you don't just play your fucking beast modes and slaughter everybody. Those some strategy with your ultimate franchise, you know.
Are you playing other players? Or just computer?
No, right now I'm just playing the first game.
You have like the choice of like what you do, like just like the other games are good.
Time to check on our
Oh,
umpires.
fuck.
Earl Hendricks
Yeah.
balls and strikes.
Yeah, well-liked umpire.
Got
Really
the
pretty
option.
consistent with his zone.
Ooh.
So if you're familiar with him and how he works, you won't get too surprised by anything. Sometimes he'll give a little bit off the corner, but nothing too crazy at all.
Yeah, for this first game, I'm playing like an 88 team, and I'm like a 70, so I use 2 of these loaner players.
Zone is most frustrating for hitters.
I'd say off the plate, away, and down. And why? Those are the toughest locations to hit the baseball.
And I'm up 3-1, because one of them's a goal scorer.
Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk.
What a battle. It's not always easy laying off a 3-2 pitch, and I tell you what, he earned that walk.
But yeah, he scored 2 goals for me.
Ball here as he stands in there.
The goal scorer, 97.
Next offering is in for a strike. Check swing, one around.
1 and 2.
Now 1 and 2.
Min Sun.
Bottom of the second. Next offering misses. And the count's even at 2.
2-2.
And down on strikes.
4-1 now. Let's go, boys.
Just great bite to that slider. Broke hard out of the zone, and he just couldn't hold up the swing.
All you do is pay possession, man. That's all you do.
There's just not much you can do with it. You know that, but
Pass,
you
pass,
don't
pass,
get
pass,
run like that.
pass.
And a 1-0. Tapped at the plate, but it's a
And
foul.
take it out wide.
Second inning here, no score.
And
Did you
then
play
cross
soccer
it up in
growing
the
up?
mid. Yeah, and I coached it too, so I kind of know the strategy. What?
I thought you coached it. I didn't know you played it too.
So a man left.
Yeah, that's all.
I figured nobody in America plays soccer. That's what I think.
Yeah, in the 2000s though, we played it a lot different than how you coach it now. It's
Really?
when I started coaching it, I was like, oh shit, back in the day, we just pinged it deep, and nowadays, man, I guess was it 2 of U.S. soccer coaches ago, they revamped U.S. soccer and really like infiltrated all the way down from the ground up, and had some like universal programs in terms of teaching all the way down from like little kids and the drills that they had for, and all the way through high school and up, and it's kind of cool on how they build it up, and in terms
so
of
it's like
clubs
a standardized
and
system that you like.
Yeah,
That you get
from
into.
like
Wow, that's wild.
yeah, from like clubs and all the way from U.S. They have a class A, B, C, like these coaching licenses that you get, and
1-1.
What is
So
the
you go
different
get
licenses for the coaches that you?
each one gets you like higher level for what you can coach, like what grade level. Like that you're certified. I think I'm a D license or something. I can't remember. It's like middle school, but might not even be that. But it was a fucking brutal clinic, man. They put you through the grinder.
In there for strike 1.
Like what? Like what possible fucking?
They make you go through drills.
Oh, like
They make you go through drills, and yeah, you have to play. They take you through like, you have to then teach the drills.
Right.
A lot of it's just the size of the field, the numbers of the kids, just advances as the grades get older. So they try to keep the limited, just how much space you're playing with, lower, and then how much creativity they want you to kind of
Back at guaranteed rate field, Luis Robert now.
develop and
Creativity police?
I mean, watching him track
yeah,
balls to the
it's
outfield
pretty
is
interesting.
beautiful.
It was pretty interesting coming from
That hits the dirt.
where in football it's very structured. Like every step that you take is coached in football. Like your first step you take in literally your first step, every hand placement is coached. Every play, here's what you do on this play, here's what your hand does on your first step, here's what your your footwork, your arm throw, and you got 11 guys doing 11 different things, right? So I appreciate that aspect in terms of football. And soccer, when the guy touches the ball, whoever has the ball, he's the point guard, and you got 10 other guys that can do whatever the fuck they want. And then on their end, they got 11 guys doing whatever the fuck they want, and the guy who has the ball is the point guard who has to decide. I've got 11 options, and I can dribble the ball, right? Or I can pass it to anyone, whoever the fuck I want, or I can shoot it, right? So just, there's no way to like...
Hockey's like that.
Yeah, it's insane, right? So you can't really coach it by the play.
Yeah,
so I had to learn.
Seconds into the face-off or the ball getting kicked or whatever, it's fucking chaos, like basically.
Right. So they basically teach you how to. They teach you how to teach kids how to think.
Hey, one down now.
And they teach you how to set up drills that teach kids how to think.
0-1.
How to develop thinking skills. Which really helped in basketball, because basketball is very similar. Basketball is a blend. That's why I like basketball the most, coaching, because it's a blend of football in terms of you run plays, but there's so much creativity at the same time.
Sometimes that can be a little tough to score on. It just hits so hard.
It's very
that
similar
getting back
to
the
soccer.
back of the tag,
Honestly.
Yeah, I was like
takes a
that
little
about
bit of
like
time by
hockey.
the time
I
that
played
outfielder
only hockey
catches
and
it.
soccer,
Really
really.
good job of getting that run
Yeah,
in.
soccer is fucking
Two.
rugby.
Swings through that one as he comes to the plate for the second time today.
So, no, it's cool, man. All sports are interesting to coach. And
Kicks and fire.
Yeah, I thought about getting into hockey coaching.
Hey, make your pitch right here.
Nice that changeup right out of the hand.
Should,
Just
man.
spit on it.
Up the middle.
Let's see
Bichette
what I
handles
can
the
do.
chance. They take the force out, and that is the inning. Back here on the south side, we head to the bottom of the fifth. Now it's the second baseman, Nick Conlon.
The second baseman.
It's the corner. Strike one.
There we go. No out. One strike.
The wind and the pitch. And that's outside.
Then when you start coaching multiple sports, seeing how many sports, how everything's fucking related,
One away.
and how everything's the same, it's just...
Well, that's what they say now. So many athletes just play the same thing and focus on it.
The catcher.
There's athletes who better to be more well-rounded and play more different sports because it makes your brain.
Well, it's all... Yeah, and
Here
it's
we go, 1-1.
all the sports are very similar, man, honestly. Like, I had some kids that went from
1-1.
volleyball to tennis and just won state in tennis because the volleyball serve is the exact same as the tennis serve.
And a foul ball.
And they've been doing that their whole life. And,
The pitch.
Yeah, you're hitting a ball, kind of.
yeah, you toss it up. It's the same toss and spike, or like from the beginning of the serve, man. And a lot of these kids have, in tennis, you don't get a lot of serve practice, and in volleyball, you serve all the fucking time. The kids that need practice serving, boom, boom, you know.
I used to love badminton.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I find that to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, the changing of the directions in badminton. And,
One, two. Plays it first.
where are all these packs going that I just claimed? Where the fuck are they going?
There's a...
Oh, back.
I know in MLB you gotta
Do they go to the store?
some My
there
Packs
they go.
thing.
That's
You're in.
stupid. So you claim them and then they go to the store. That's stupid.
Well, we go bottom 6, and now the DH, Adam Hazen.
Leading off for the White Sox.
Pitch.
The designated hitter. Adam.
And a good eye there.
Ball. Plays it 1
no
now.
strike.
Next
Next offering is in for a strike.
And it really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider.
How are you gonna call that a ball, you little bitch?
To one
Faggot.
velocity and stay there.
Been quartering it up all night.
Hey, nobody away.
Swing and a miss, and now
2 balls,
2 and
2
2.
strikes.
One.
Oh,
Two. Smoke through the infield. So a runner aboard to start the inning. Luis Robert now at the plate. A guy who makes an impact not just at the plate, but also at the field.
1-0.
And the first offering is not close. That catches the zone for a strike. And a count
Alright,
1-1.
4-player contracts. I'll take it.
Strike 2.
Position
1 and 2.
modifier.
Count.
Next off, misses.
that's strike
2 and 2.
You little bitch, man. Oh my god. Keep fagging up.
Looking. So he's got
Ball's half in, half out of the zone. You give it to the batter? That's gay
at
shit.
least so far, not showing a ton of signs of fatigue.
I gotta sock the ball. What the fuck? I don't want to fucking sock the ball.
Eloy Jimenez will hit next. in there, and it's 0-1.
What is a
That
draft
hook's looking
token?
pretty sharp today. Just a solid pitching performance so far, and I really think it's because of that curveball.
Gurriel drifts towards it. He's got it. There's 2 away.
75 or higher player. Give me somebody good. Give me somebody good.
Gavin Sheets.
Really good piece of hitting last time.
0-1.
79. Okay, okay, okay.
The 0-1. This one in the dirt.
He's gonna get this.
On the ground to the left. Bichette picks it up. See. The Denver, but that extends the
Crazy, man.
next hit for the Sox. David Dahl.
The effort was there with the jump throw. You gotta love it. Oh, it just wasn't in time. Still really impressive play. Just to get to that ball and make it close. Not every shortstop can even make that play.
Right-hander kick steal.
11 fucking.
High fly ball out of the left center field. Stands it on the run. And that's the 3rd out. White Sox strand a couple. They still lead it 1-0. Yusei Kikuchi takes over on the mound.
Well, they won the opener at home. First game of a 3-game series, and there's just such a good feeling that you're in your own ballpark, you're sleeping in your own bed, you're eating your clubhouse manager's food, everything's right in your world, and they played like it today.
2-0 your final here in this one. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
For the Blue Jays, their runners are only 2 hits, 1 error. They left 9 men on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 29 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
We remind you to
Wave with me today.
All right, let's see what I. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, got a new stadium. Stadium.
My bullpen, the bullpen sucks, dude. These ERAs are insane. 12, 8, 21, 21.
What team are you playing with? The Blue Jays?
Yeah, but I'm playing, I got a pitcher that I play to be a pro, so I just play the pitcher.
Damn, I thought I was gonna get cool shit. Like, I mean, bullshit. I don't want stadium shit. I want players, man. Who fucking wants stadium flags? Fucking stupid. Uh,
Yo, if anybody's here, I'm out. Later, dudes.
Later, bro. Yeah, I think I'm gonna crash right now too, man. I'm fucking tired. Sorry, bro. Can't keep my eyes open, man. A holla flight.
Hey, buddy, later. Take it easy. It's just your boy. What do we want, John? Can I hear this?
Total experience. I've never had a problem with a pit bull before, but it's every pit bull I've ever met.
It only takes one moment to train to that forever.
Yeah, you see, that's exactly what I was getting at. Is like I've personally never had a problem. They've always been very sweet to me, but it only takes one pit bull in a bad mood to basically irreversibly.
And welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Sunday baseball on the show. It's the Detroit Tigers.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Friday Night Live. It is the 20th of May, 2022. And I'm going to explain it all for you tonight.
First pitch coming your way next.
Great to spend a Friday night with Stefan. That's right. I just wish we could also spend Saturday morning. It's that great pickup line from when I was younger. Hi, how you doing? How about breakfast? Shouldn't I call you? So, I used to be able to do that better. Can't think of a better thing to do on a Friday. Can't beat philosophy with a stick. You can beat it with hemlock occasionally, though, but you can't beat it with a stick. So, I wanted to explain the world to you. Like, I know that sounds kind of annoying. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But pretty much, truth like a disco ball. Every angle you come at it from, you're going to get something important. And I like switching the views, sort of rotating the melon, so to speak. To the part where the frat boy hasn't had his way with an apple core and a microwave. But I wanted to tell you why we're going insane. Like, why are we in the West as a society going insane? Now, I don't have to get into any specifics. We all know the insanity that's floating around. Why? You know, the wokeness and all, right? People think it's an intellectual thing. It's not an intellectual thing. It's an effect of something else. And I sort of wanted to get to the root and the core of what it is, in fact, the root of. And I'm going to do my studious best. I'll probably fail, because you guys are just so interesting, fascinating, I tell you. So I'll probably fail, but I'm going to try and avoid the questions until I finish the speech. This is what I would be doing in public, where I allow evidence. So, why are we going insane? Why are we losing our grip on reality? Why are we inhabiting a psychosis? So, I want you to think of infinity. Do you have it yet? All encapsulated? Of course, we have words for things we cannot conceive of. Infinity is one of them. We cannot conceive of infinity. But I do remember being on a hike with a friend of mine who's a brilliant mathematician and another friend of mine who's a brilliant economist. This is before we were all before I was a philosopher, before they were a mathematician and an economist, and having a debate about what infinity divided by infinity was. And my friend, the mathematician-to-be, said, infinity divided by infinity is infinity. And I said, don't agree with you. Don't believe it. And he said, I want you to think of an infinite space and infinitely long poles. And those how many infinitely long poles can fit into an infinite 3D space? And I said, well, an infinity of them, but that's cheating. He said, what do you mean that's cheating? I said, that's cheating. Because you have infinite space, which is 3 dimensions, and then you have infinite poles, but they're not infinite except in length. They're not infinite in height or width. So you're not comparing apples to apples. That's not infinity divided by infinity. And that is how we whiled away the evening while we were hiking. And so now, infinity divided by infinity, I mean, tautologically is 1. So I want you to think of infinity, and there's two poles. One pole is sanity, and one pole is madness. And super sanity, the kind of sanity that we don't have, except maybe in our social circles, our philosophical circles, our circles of trust and reason and evidence. I want you to think of infinity in terms of sanity and madness. And I will tell you what the difference is. An infinity in principles is sanity. An infinity in principles is sanity. I'll get into that in a second. But an infinity in resources is madness. An infinity in principles is sanity, and infinity in resources is madness. So, what is an infinity in principles? Well, it's when you take your principles and truly universalize them. That's science, that's philosophy, that's logic. Morality is universal in its essence, and if you doubt that, you can read either Universally Preferable Behavior, my free book, or Essential Philosophy, my free book. But morals are infinite. They are universal. They go on forever, across all time, across all space, and so on, right? Scientific principles. Speed of light is constant across the universe. Gravity is constant across the universe. Fission and fusion are constant across the universe, the properties of atoms, electromagnetism, and so on. These are all infinite and eternal across the universe. Now, when I say infinite, I don't mean that the universe is infinite, but what I mean is that there is no place where in the universe these laws do not apply. It's infinite as far as needs possibly be, with 100 billion galaxies, with 100 billion stars apiece, right? I still think that doesn't add up to Elon Musk's pocket change. But anyway. So, the laws of physics are infinite. They are eternal. Because if you do an experiment yesterday, if you do it the next day and it's different, you don't say, well, the laws of physics must have changed. Right? You say, well, there was some error in the procedure.
Hey.
So,
hey, where's the other fuck stick at?
Infinity of principles is sanity.
Oh, Bill's on Madden.
We hit me with a Y if that makes sense to you. That an infinity of principles is sanity. Logic, reason, science, morality.
Join
we're getting
chat,
some Y's.
bag.
One in.
There you go.
Laws of math. Thank you. Perfect. Absolutely. I knew there was one that I was forgetting, and you all come to my rescue as usual. The laws of math are also, yes, numbers are infinite. You don't do numbers in India and then come over to America and the numerical system is totally different, right?
God, dude, I gotta take a fucking massive dookie.
Sanity is universality.
Take some magnesium citrate, and my stomach is bubbling right now.
Yeah, universal.
I don't know if you want to smell it.
Universal versus infinite.
Probably not, huh?
Are two sides of the same coin. They really, it's two ways of saying the same thing. Universal is everywhere, at all times, under all circumstances, and infinite basically means the same thing.
Imagine that being the thing.
So if we are in a giant,
I don't know either. We can find out.
Then
either I'm getting arrested or
the laws of physics will be valid, and so they're infinite.
Sir, what was the purpose of you sending him
purposes?
your shit?
Everywhere, if we could go somehow beyond the universe, whatever that would even mean, then the laws of physics would have to apply there, because you simply like you go to Mars, the laws of the universe, the laws of the physics apply.
You play Madden, right?
When they sent that probe past Pluto, however
did you make your avatar?
It passed by within a minute or two of when they anticipated. That's how universal.
The hair, yeah.
These
did you make him like you?
It's a black dude.
Yeah, let me just.
You made a black dude.
Yeah.
That I'm getting all this right.
Big black dude, yeah.
Take intro to calculus. I don't
that has to be racist.
Okay, so this makes sense, right? So an infinity.
You made a big black. That has to be racist.
Sanity, because I don't say that universally.
I think that has to be racist.
Could be called infinitely preferable behavior, but that would be confusing because the infinitely would be like in terms of preference. Universally preferable behavior simply says that a moral law is not
I don't know, man.
By location, it's not contained by time. It's not contained by opinion. It's not contained by
emotion.
Universal is universal. I mean, if you're looking at radiation coming from the sun,
that's actually a tough one.
It's going to hit your skin and do its thing, regardless of whether you like it or don't like it. regardless of whether you're in Portugal or in Spain or like it's universal, right?
Go play Pokemon on
And
Nintendo Switch.
we know that universality is the case with biology, because we can dig up carbon-based life forms from tens or hundreds of millions of years ago, and so on. So the laws of biology, the laws of physics, the laws of matter and energy and morality, these are all universal. And the more universal we make them, the saner we are. Because wherever you stop your universality, there you introduce madness.
It's probably the
I'm not kidding about this. Wherever you stop your universality of principles, there you introduce madness. So if you have a location where reason and evidence and science does not apply, and you believe that that is true and real and
Le'Veon Bell,
then that is a pocket of madness within you.
Yuck.
Right, so
Adrian Peterson, back to
how do we
the
know
Lions.
daily life from nightly dreams?
Who was
Daily
Frank
life
we're
has
playing
universal
for before
principles.
you?
Nightly dreams do not. Like nightly
The
dreams
Jets.
constantly violate the laws of time and space, location, physics, consequentialism. You can jump off the ground and float into the sky. All of these
Todd
things.
Gurley, back to
Now,
the
if you genuinely
Falcons.
believe that your dreams were real, then that would be an area of madness for you. So, if you say that no one can walk on water except for Bob in Peterborough at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. Okay, then Peterborough, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday is a place where you believe that the impossible can happen and madness is truth. And a lot, I mean, philosophy and science and all of this is pushing back the madness of prehistory so that principles can continue and go wider, right? All men are endowed with certain inalienable rights by their creator. Okay, well, the creator is not necessarily the most rational, philosophical, empirical entity, but all men are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. This is how slavery was ended. All human beings have or manifest self-ownership, and you can't own yourself and have somebody else own you at the same time. That's like saying if you buy a car that both you and the car dealership own the car at the same time. That can't really be possible legally or morally, right?
That was you that made that noise.
When we start as a species, we are superstitious,
deeply
we are feelings-based,
which game to play.
And our perspective is all that matters. Our limited perspective is all that
I go
matters.
with Madden,
right?
man.
The Earth looks flat, the sun and the moon look the same size, and so on, right?
Kills the time.
And if we eat particular magic mushrooms or peyote or mescaline or whatever, then we get particular visions, which in the modern world, with a sane perspective, we say, well, those visions you see, that's chemicals messing with your perceptions, right? But more primitive personalities view that as a portal that you opened up and gone through into an alternate dimension where evil reigns. And anyway, you understand, it's not the most self-disciplined approach. I mean, I have I'm telling you, check out my new book, available for now, only for subscribers to freedomain.com and locals and unauthorized TV. They all getting that ahead of time, and I must have recorded a good 7 hours of the audiobook so far. And I think, what's happened so far in the book is nothing compared to what's coming. So my imagination is very strong, and the only way that my imagination stays disciplined is to recognize what is real and what is not. When I go into a novel, when I go into a role play, as you've heard me do, I'm sure, a lot of times with listeners in call-in shows, I really let myself go into alternate worlds that do not exist. I mean, I have written a science fiction novel about the beauty of the future. It takes place half a millennia from here, and I have to see it down to the last detail. I understand how it all works. Everyone's carrying. So I'm in an unreal world. And I'm very disciplined about that. And one of the reasons I can let my imagination run so wild is I never have any concern that it's going to overwhelm me and block my access to mundane, practical, sane, rational, empirical reality. So wherever you say, here's where universalism and eternity, infinity, here's where it stops, and beyond that is something else, you've created a pocket of madness, not out there in the universe, but in your own mind. Like Plato's world of forms, right? But there's a perfect chair, a perfect table, a perfect microphone, a perfect forehead. And you see all these things floating in the ether before you're born, and then, by golly, when you get born, your memory of that perfect cup that you saw before you were born impinges on the cup that you see in the mundane world, and that's how you know it's a cup. The cupness is a real thing. The essence of the object, the concept, is a real thing out there, which you see. But like all of that, that's creating a massive pocket of pure insanity in the human mind. And so many philosophers work and work and work to create these pockets of absolute festering insanity in the human mind. You can see this with Hegel's world spirit. It's a world spirit, and sometimes that world spirit, which is manifesting humanity to the overman, a little bit of Nietzsche there, that the world spirit chooses sometimes a particular country, a particular race, and uses it to express its will of domination over the rest of the world. Great thing to tell Germans. Well, that, you see, world spirit capturing nations and using it to advance the spirit of godhood by having those nations conquer other nations. Fantastically helpful for the psychotic rulers who want to murder for posterity, but it creates a massive pocket of madness. And madness is always supported by aggression. Like this modern woke stuff is all about, we are going to force you to say absurd things that go against reason. And we will break you on a wheel if you don't obey. And once they force you to say insane things, unless you're very alert, then they broke it. They force you, like, to denounce. Like, I believe these things that are absurd. I mouth these things that are absurd. Well, yeah, get it done. That's the whole point, is to break your integrity, and it's a mere exercise in power. It's kiss the ring. Get her done. Kiss the ring stuff of the criminal. Resurgence. So the advancement of the species, of morality, of humanity, is to continue to push back against the insane pockets or encroaching madness of subjectivism and relativism, and you do that with universal principles. So hopefully that makes sense. So that is universality, or infinity in principle. Infinity of principle. Sanity. Okay, so let's go to the other side of the coin. Literally the coin, or the fiat coin. Infinity of resources is madness. Let's start with something kind of mundane. Do you, ready to go, boys? Hit me with a Y, if you've ever known someone thought these guys landed with us, huh? Driven kind of crazy through they all went headquarters instead. An excess of beauty, an excess of talent, an excess of money, an excess of popularity, an excess of fame, an excess of success. Make contact. An excess of success with women, or an excess of attractiveness to men. Have you ever known anyone who's gone mad, one degree or another, down three, because of too much, whatever this gun is, too much of something rifle or other? Yes. Okay. DM40 custom. If you have a second, give me a couple of details. Of the people you've seen. I mean, my mother went quite mad. There are 24 enemies active. Kill them all. I've had friends who went quite mad from an excess of cynicism. I've had friends who went crazy from an excess of humility. I have friends who went crazy from a sudden inheritance. I have a friend who just got a huge sum of money out of nowhere, and box was not good for him. I write about this actually in my novel Just Poor. You should get that novel. Again, it's free. JustPoorNovel.com. I was just talking about this with a guy who's checked in the audiobook with someone might want to get that. And he was saying, well, why did this terrible scene go? He said, because again, one guy I knew from high school became so mad from being a so-called Chad, he became a drug-dealing rapist. Well, it's the Amber Heard thing, right? It's the Angelina Jolie thing, right? Johnny Depp thing to some degree as well, right? Which is an excess. Like, and Amber Heard was considered to have perfect face when she was younger, right? And, you know, she's looking a little chunk now, 36 or whatever it is. Plus, you know, she's not sleeping, stress at the trial and all that's pretty awful. And Johnny Depp was one of the most gorgeous human beings when he was younger. Now he looks like a pirate's skinned knee begging for change on a sidewalk. Beauty and wealth holds two different people. Constant unearned attention seem to really inflate their egos. It happens with people who get, in particular, the unearned. Beauty is to a large degree unearned. Even physique, to some degree, can be unearned. Like, there are some people who... I remember talking to a woman many years ago when I was on vacation. She looks fantastic.
People right over there.
Enemies really
and
is redeploying.
she's like, and this is me. I don't do anything. Like, I was playing volleyball with her. And she's like, oh yeah, this is me. This is me. Like, I haven't even worked out in a year. Just curvy and everything in the right place.
Relocating the safe zone.
And she said, if I actually work out, it's insane. And so, yeah, just right. Elizabeth Holmes, yeah, tried to take advantage of her beauty. I wouldn't necessarily say beauty, but I mean, she was a solid 8.5, but in the tech world, that's something like that. So, okay, so you know the basic principle of economics. All human desires are infinite, all resources are finite. You always want to master the computer, you always want to live longer, you always want to be stronger or fitter or more flexible, you always want to have more money, you always want to have better things or more time. Like, all of our human desires are infinite, right? But all resources are finite. Now, the infinity of human desires compared to the finite nature of resources is why there is the science of economics, right? There's a cost-benefit analysis and all that, right? And our failure to teach and process cost-benefit analysis may very well have fundamentally wrecked us. I mean, straight up, right? And I was talking about this in April of 2020. Like, I broke the whole COVID thing at the beginning of 2020 because of a friend of mine in Hong Kong telling me China's Chernobyl is on its way.
Come on, bro.
And by early April, I think it was late March or early April, I was basically saying that the lockdowns are a disaster because there's no cost-benefit analysis. Lockdowns will be a disaster because there's no cost-benefit analysis. Everyone's just saying, well, we'll lock down. And nobody said, okay, so if we lock down, it's going to be hard to unlock down. And what's going to happen to surgeries? What's going to happen to dental care? What's going to happen to alcoholics? What's going to happen to kids who might be stuck home with abusive parents? What's going to happen to drug addicts? What's going to happen to children's education and social skills and right? And I posted an article on freedomain.locals.com, which you should really check out. It's free to check, about the unbelievably horrible effects that the lockdown on children. Of course, it's very predictable. And of course, I grew up my whole life saying, well, we should privatize healthcare. And people saying, oh my God, there's so many people dependent and desperate on healthcare. You can't possibly privatize healthcare because everyone needs their healthcare. And then in Canada, like here in Canada, it was like, oh, no, it turns out, funny story, we can basically cancel healthcare for 18 months and it's totally fine. The lockdown seems like a mini dark age. Lockdowns were disastrous.
Oh shit. I landed in the fucking
Which was
water.
actually predictable. And you knew that they'd be disastrous because there was no cost-benefit analysis. There was no debate. Debate, in fact, was shut down. Anyone who said we should lock down got into media. So there should have been, you know, robust debates, 8-hour debates from different epidemiologists and healthcare and politicians and economists. And there should have been, okay, here's the benefits, here's the costs, here's how many lives we might save, here's how many lives we might cost. But because we have a very much dumbed down population, it's like everyone thinks there's a solution without a cost. There is no solution without a cost. Should you save your money? Should you spend your money? There's no answer to that. Everyone's like, stack sats and stay humble. There's no answer as to whether you should keep your Bitcoins or not. I mean, if you're 80, spend them and enjoy your life. There's no answer. There's no answer. Should you exercise or should you sit on the couch? There's no answer. Everything is a cost benefit. Everything is a trade-off. Should you go to bed early or go to bed late? Maybe you'll have a great deal of fun staying up late. Maybe you'll be tired in the morning. Maybe you'll go to bed early and find out that you can't sleep and you might as well have gone out and had fun, and then you just, you know, wrecks the whole thing.
Use this
Should
time
you
to train a bit.
buy a house, or should you rent an apartment? There's no answer to that. Well, increasingly in the population agenda called "Let's keep houses away from young people by making them too expensive," it's not even a question.
Enemy
but in the
dropping into
past,
the
you had
AR.
the choice: should you buy a house or should you rent?
Oh, cool.
An apartment. No answer to that. Because if you rent an apartment, you could take the money you'd put on a down payment on a house and you could invest it in something that will be of value. Or you could, you know, buy the house. Should you buy a house or should you invest in the stock market? Oh, we should invest in the stock market. Good returns on your investment. Well, until recently, it's like, okay, let's invest in the stock market. Where are you going to live? It's not likely your stockbroker is going to put you up. So, because we don't train children. And I think this has a little bit to do with gynocentric education. Women not quite as good at the cost-benefit analysis, which is why the vast majority of student debt is held by women. Women not as good at the cost-benefit analysis, because women can often nag or complain or seduce or entice men to provide the resources. Men can't exactly, you know, put on makeup, go out into the forest and have a deer lie down to be eaten. Right? It's just not. We can't nag fruit trees into producing fruit. We have to actually go out and do practical, empirical work of gaining resources. We can't just complain and seduce our way into getting stuff.
Resurgence. Set a drop point for your team,
We don't understand really cost-benefit analysis anymore, so what happens is we careen from disaster to disaster, and by the time those disasters show up, we're on to the next disaster. What is the cost-benefit analysis of
My God.
Return them to combat
sending
quicker.
Did your whole game
weapons into a war zone?
Yeah.
Primary objective
Yeah.
is to eliminate
be used
all enemies. Attack.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
So, cost-benefit analysis is fine. Infinite desires and finite resources. So, what happens when human beings get infinite resources? Remember, infinity of principle, sanity. Infinity of resources, what happens? This is all back to the focus. Why is this insanity boiling like some lava-based tsunami across the mental landscape? Because of debt. Because of money. Because of
Enemy UAV active.
money creation gives you the impression of infinite, gives you the delusion of infinite resources. When you have the delusion of infinite resources, you are no longer whipped and cornered and disciplined by actual brute base reality.
Enemy UAV active.
Actual base brute reality. When you have infinite resources, you don't have, the debate used to be called guns or butter, right? But if you invest in armaments, military, then you have less butter for the population, guns or butter. And everyone, you know, back in the day, about the teens, the 20s, and 30s of last century, people said, well, we need more military. Okay, well, then there'll be less butter. If we're going to tax people, they won't be able to afford butter. Maybe they'll have to go to margarine or something like that. Absolutely. But I repeat myself. So,
Enemy soldier nearby.
we don't have that, and we haven't really had that certainly since most countries went off the explicit gold standard in the First World War, and then in the 70s, in particular America, the convertibility to gold was gone, and then you got the true takeoff of the welfare warfare state, where they said, well, we can give billions of dollars to the poor, and we can give trillions of dollars to the military, and we can have hundreds of billions of dollars of foreign aid, and we can have massive amounts of old age pensions.